Hey everyone, it's time for the second mystery game for Mystery Month, and that game is a classic. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Now, this game was one of my favorites as a child, and this is on the Super Nintendo. You start by putting in your name, and then if you have a code from a previous playthrough, you can input it to pick up the game where you left off, which I think is pretty neat. Other than that, it's the same as the computer game. You're given a task to find an item that has been stolen, and you have to track down the culprit. So the game starts you off in a location. So you travel to that location and you investigate 3 buildings, which will be the norm for every single place you visit. And the people are not very helpful. They tell you things like, he said he liked Mexican food. In this playthrough, they rarely gave me any identifying information that I could use to identify the culprit. But they also give you hints as to where he said he was going or she said they were going next. So it's really important that you kind of keep track of what these folks are saying. So after that, you travel to the next location and it kind of repeats. So what you do is you put any identifying info that you're given in the warrant computer, and then you can have a warrant issued. You always have a certain amount of time to catch each culprit, and you have to catch the culprit within that certain amount of time, or else the item is lost. So here I am traveling at the next location, and you can always tell if you went to the right location by this. You travel to the first building, and a little culprit comes across the bottom of the screen, and it says, "A vile henchman, you must be on the right track." So then, I'm just showing off, inputting stuff into the warrant data. Like I said, they really didn't give me a whole lot to go on this playthrough. Anything about food or whether they like stamps or anything is pretty useless identifying info. So I actually had to guess the culprit because the only other thing they gave me was the hair color. And there were 2 people with that hair color. So here I am traveling to the next location. And yeah, I'm traveling to the next location. So at this next location, you get more info, which of course, again, is stuff I couldn't use. So, like I said, I had to guess at the culprit, which is not something you want to have to do. Usually they give you like, oh, he was wearing a ring or he was driving a certain car. But nope, they always said he drove away in a vehicle, which was not helpful at all. So here I am checking out the first place. I went to the right place. This is where they said he had black hair. So of course I put that into the computer and I hit compute because you have to issue a warrant to catch the culprit. If you catch the culprit without issuing the warrant, you lose that round because they can't be brought to justice if you don't have a culprit. So I just guessed on the vehicle and I got a warrant for Fast Eddie B. And luckily I guessed correctly. So when you travel to the final location, which if you get every town right off the bat, you will catch the culprit by Thursday night or Friday. So I traveled to the first location and immediately you're met with a different kind of graphic than the little culprit running across the bottom of the screen. And here he is. I'm catching the culprit. So yeah, that's Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It's on the computer. You can still kind of play it. There was also several other spin-off games, like Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego Deluxe, which is the version I had for the computer. But all in all, it's still a solid game that holds up today and helps you learn your geography. Thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for future episodes.